Okay, so I'd like you to go ahead and open up the Cami that is circled there that says Relations, Notes, and Practice. So open up that Cami. I'm doing the same thing. All right. Get rid of this. Now, this is going to be kind of like a continuation of representing relationships that we did on Monday. I'm going to zoom out to like 170. And that should be fine. You can zoom out so this is a little more visible for you. So we're going to do a series of relations of functions to represent them in different ways, okay? So let me just do a quick walk around, make sure we're all here, and then we'll get started. Did anyone watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, the Dodgers won.
Okay, let me pause it. 1 second, guys. I gotta take care of something really quick. Huh? Okay, so let's begin. So the first way we're gonna name some relations is by identifying ordered pairs. We have to be careful. Maybe some of you got ahead of me. Do you notice that every two spaces is one? Does everyone see that? Okay, that means every one space is how much? Every one space is how much?
One.
No, every two spaces is one.
Oh, every one space is two.
No, a half. Every one space is a half. So this is 1/2. This is one. This is 1.5, two,
Oh, yeah.
2.5, etc. So we got to be careful with that. So now if we're looking at point A is not at -3, 1, -1.5, 1/2. We went over 3 spaces, so that's -1/2, and we went up 1 space, so that's also 1/2. So let's go ahead and put that. Let's grab our text tool. 16 is fine. Pick a color. Make sure it's nice and legible. And let's make our ordered pair at -1.5. You can use decimals if you like 0.5. And our y value is up 1 space, so that's +1/2. So there is the ordered pair for point A. Okay. Let's go over to B. B would be 2 spaces over to the right, so that's 1. And then 3 spaces up, so the y value would be, this is 1, this is 1.5. So B, we're going to put at 1, comma, 1.5. I'll put 1.5 again. All right. Let's find C. Okay. So C, put that away right now, please. C is going to be at -1, comma, -1.5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, -1.5. And then finally, D is at, what are the coordinates for D? +2, +1. Okay. So there we are. We named the ordered pairs for each point. All right, I'm going to move this up. Our next task is graph each ordered pair on the coordinate plane. And I see halves again. So I think we're going to do the same thing. Every two spaces is 1. So this would be 1, 2, 2.5. We don't necessarily need to number them, but we just have to remember every one space is a half. So if we're locating 1 comma 1/2, in order to move 1 on the x-axis, how many spaces do we move? How many spaces do there? 2. 2 spaces would be 1. And then I want to move a half space up, or a half, which is 1 full space. So 2 spaces is 1. 1 space up would be 1/2. So this is the location 1 comma 1/2. So to make a point, let's go to drawing. Make sure the thickness is at 6. Pick a color. Red is fine for me. So I'm going to go 2 over 1 up. There's my first point. This would be 1 comma 1/2. Okay. For number 6, I want 1 comma -2. So that means I want to move, again, 2 spaces to 1. And then I want to go down to -2. So that would be a total of 4 spaces, because this is -1 and -2 is down here. So there it is. That would be 1 -2. Let's move on to -1/2 comma 2. So for -1/2 comma 2, we'll start at the origin. And if I want to move to -1/2, which way would I go? How many though? Yeah, this would be -1/2. And then I want to go to 2, so that would be 4 up. This is +2 on the y-axis, for the y-axis. So -1/2 comma 2. And the last one is at 2 -1/2. So 2 would be 4 over to the right, and -1/2 would be down 1 space. Right there. Okay. So those are all the points we needed to plot there. So we just graphed each ordered pair on the coordinate plane. All right. Okay, everybody ready for the next part? So for the next part, it says express the relation as a table and a graph, then state the domain and range. Okay, so we're doing 3 things. We're going to put these ordered pairs in our table, then we're going to plot the points on a graph, and then we're going to state the domain and range. Okay, so let's start with the table. So let's go to the table. Go back to text tool, and we want to list the XY ordered pairs here. So we've got 3, -4. So I'm going to put 3, and then just space bar over to put -4 here. And I'll just hit enter and put in the next one, 2 and 0, and -4, -1, and finally 0, -3. Okay, so there's all our values in the table. So for the next part, we want to graph these points. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our drawing tool and plot the points. I think this time we don't want to go each space 1/2. We don't have enough room because we need to get to -4. And if we go by ones, this is -1, -2, -3, -4 would be there. So every space is 1 this time. Every space, let's make it 1. So let's find 3, -4. 3 to the right, 4 down. Let's find 2, 0. 2 over to the right. We want -4, -1. So that would be 4 to the left and 1 down. And then 0, 3. 0, -3. So it's going to be 0. 0 means you don't move right or left, just stay at 0. But -3 for y means to go 3 down. There we are. Okay. Yes. Okay, so there's our 4 points from the coordinates. Now the last thing is state the domain and range. So we haven't done this in a while, but they want us to state the domain and range. So over here, I'm going to grab my text tool and type in the word domain and put colon there. And then if you look next to the key where P is, you have the braces and then the square brackets. The key next to P to the right has that. And what we want are the braces. So I'm going to press Shift and that key right there to get the braces. And then we're going to make a set for the domain. Now the domain is a set of all inputs. And we already have them listed, if you notice. So what are the numbers for my inputs? Yeah, basically this column right here, the X values. So let's just list them here. And this would be the domain for this particular function. And we're going to do the same thing with the range, except this time we want the outputs, which are the Y values that are listed. So for the range, we'll do the same thing. We'll put them in the squiggly braces, and we'll start with -4, 0, -1, and -3. Like so. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay, so the last thing, we have a situation here that they want us to express. Looks like on a graph. Alton pays $48 each month for satellite service, for satellite television service. Make a table of ordered pairs. Well, I'd like to know where he's only paying $48 for satellite TV, because that would be a good deal. Make a table of ordered pairs in which X represents the number of months. Let me highlight that. So I'm going to go to markup. X coordinate represents the number of months. the y coordinate represents the total cost. For 1 through 4 months. So from what I can tell, I'm going to go back to my text tool. The months go here. And the cost, total cost, goes here. Okay. And we want to do this for months 1 through 4. So month 1, 2, 3, and 4. You just scooch them over to the middle. Okay. So basically the equation we want is y, the total cost is, since it's $48 per month, 48 times the number of months, so that's y equals 48x. So how much are we going to pay the first month? $48. And the next month, we'll tack on another 48. So the total cost would be 96. And then we'll just add another 48 each month. So this is 144. Is that right? And finally, on the 4th month, it would be 192. Thank you. There we go. So now we have the months, the cost, the total cost each month. Let's make a graph out of all this. Let's set it up. Let's set up our grid. What are we measuring along the x-axis? Months. Let's put that in, months. And we'll just do 0 through whatever we have here. I think counting by ones is fine. So there's month 0. 1. There. All right, here they are. Months 1 through 4, 1 through 9 actually. Let's do the total cost. So the total cost, first I'll type it here and then I'll rotate it. Total cost, bless you. And we're measuring in dollars. I just typed in total cost and in parentheses letting us know that this is in dollars. So what you want to do is move your cursor right at that blue line there, and you're going to get some extra tools. And the tool you want is a rotation tool here. So click on that so it rotates 90 degrees counterclockwise like that. And let me just put it here, so we can put the dollar amounts along the y-axis. Now, how high up do we want to get? What's our largest dollar amount? So like 200. Since it's 192, we want 200 would be a good idea. So what do we want to count by? Let's see. Do we want to do, I think 20s would be not enough. 50s would be too much.
35.
How about 25? Let's see, if
So
it's 25, then every 4 would be 100, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 100. Yeah, that would be perfect. So every 2 is 50. Every 2 steps.
25.
So this is 25, that's 50. So at the 50 mark, let's just write 50. We don't need to put every single dollar amount, just every 2 is 50. So the next 2 would give us, so from here we go up 2, this would be 100. How about that? And then let's just go up to 150. 2 spaces up. 150 is here. And then 200, which is here. So there's $50, $100, $150, and $200. Okay. So now let's plot our points, starting with 1, 48. So let's go to the drawing tool. At 1, we want 48. So 48 would be just under 50, right? Just a smidge under 50. Like right there. Not quite over the perfect crosshair mark, but just under it. And then our next one is 296, 2,96. So same thing here. It's just going to be ever so slightly under 100. Like maybe there. And then we want 3, 144. So ever so slightly under 150. Like there. And finally 4, 192. Same thing, just under 200. And because it's a linear equation, it's a linear graph. Okay, let's just make sure we've covered everything we needed to here. Yeah, we graphed the ordered pairs. There they are. So if you did everything along with me, go ahead and press turn in. And this assignment, you'll get your points for this. And then you can go on to the other assignment, which just is called relations, and it's very similar to this. Okay? All right, so make sure you turn this one in.